How to pop shove it. A pop shove it is basically just that right there. In other words, it is known as a shove it, which is the trick right here, but instead of it just going on the ground like that, or like barely coming off the ground, you give it a pop to make it go higher off the ground. I would suggest learning. Honestly, I think the only tricks you really need to know how to do for this is an ollie, because you just have to like practice while getting your foot off of the ground, and then also a shove it, because you're going to be applying like both of those movements somewhat in a way to where it'll make the pop shove it possible. So if you don't have your ollie down and your shove it down, be sure to have those down, because those are very, 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 very crucial. Like very. And yeah, I'm gonna teach you how to pop shove it. Let's get into this. For the foot positioning on the back foot, you can leave your foot right about there. It's close to an ollie. I wouldn't suggest putting your foot there for an ollie, but it's about the foot position of an ollie. But if you don't want to put it right there, even though I prefer that, you can put it more like that instead. Those just seem the most comfortable for me. It's you kind of have to like experiment a little bit. And then for your front foot, you can push it up more to the bolts, but I prefer to leave it like that, pointing at a 45-degree angle. So that way, you'll be able to get your front foot out of the way for the pop shove it. The next step, well, the first step for a pop shove it, you just want to just practice just popping your board and just like moving it like out in front of you. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. Like it doesn't have to like spin the full 180 degrees. It could spin less. It could spin over 180 degrees. But the main point of practicing this exercise is so that way your body will be able to get used to how the well just how the board would move. You have to like experiment a little with like how much you like pop and how much you like scoop on your back foot. That way you can determine how much you have to do it or like how less you have to do it. It's a bit of an experiment like on its own, but the longer you practice it, the better you're going to get it. So just keep doing that and you'll get it in no time. The next step. For this, you want to try to only spin the board 180 degrees after popping it, and you don't have to catch it like if you don't want to. Me, I just tried to catch it with my back foot because I just thought that I'd be more comfortable that way. If you want to practice that, you can. Though maybe I would suggest just trying to just spin it first and then catch it. Honestly, when it comes to this, like how much you rotate when you go for the pop shove it can determine whether you land it or not. Because if you over rotate it, you might end up slipping out. If you end up under rotating it, you might also slip out. You just have to get it just right so that way you can keep your balance. Because if you over rotate it, it's going to be very, very hard to land it. Unless you're going for like a 360 pop shove it. That, you kind of have to like over rotate more than 180 degrees, but I think you guys get the main idea of what I'm trying to tell you. Alright, since you got that part down, or at least I think you did, now it's time to try to catch it with your right foot. You want to be sure to catch it with your right foot, because this, like, your front foot is going to be staying out of the way for most of the time, but catching it is very, very important. You could probably do it without catching it, though honestly, it's really better to catch it. It just makes it like it just makes it like a whole lot easier. Because if you just try to just like not catch it, your board just might spin like all over the place. Maybe you'll land primo. Like, who knows what's going to happen. So, yeah, you just want to be sure to just try to catch it with your front foot like that. And if you catch it with your back foot and your front foot, you could just like put those pieces together and then you can try landing it. That's what I usually try to do when I try to go for tricks. I just like to like put things in like separate like steps and then like put it together. It really helps me out a lot. As you can see from my right foot, when I'm catching it, it is nice and flat in the air. You want your board to be nice. Oh, no, you don't want your board. You want your foot to be nice and flat in the air. And by foot, I mean your front foot. So your front foot should be flat out in the air. So that way your board goes up, you'll be able to catch it. Keeping your keeping your front foot flat in the air will help you out tremendously because it'll be able to like help balance out the board. Because if you don't do that, like I said before, you might land primo, you might not land primo. Like it just it gives you a center of board control. And trust me, you want that for this. As long as you keep your front foot nice and flat in the air trying to catch it, you'll be able to get this pop shove it down on lock. Take it from me. I used to struggle with these. I used to just like go like all over the place. But then I realized that maybe if I keep my front foot flat out in the air, I'll be able to catch the board easily than if it wasn't flat out in the air. So just be sure to keep that in mind. It'll help you out a lot. After this, you can honestly just go for it. If you have like all of these steps down, and you feel like you got it down nice and comfortably, just go for it. Don't worry about falling. Don't worry about getting yourself hurt. Like, I hurt myself more doing frontside pop shove-its than normal pop shove-its. The pain has just begun. Believe me. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do a pop shove-it. You just follow all those steps and just put it together. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer you. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more beautifully amazing content. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, stay safe, and be sure to wash your hands.